appreciation for all the help we've had from the select board, the town administrator, CPC, the advisory committee, and numerous other groups and departments in town. Our mission is to develop a waterfront park. Our vision is to create a space that will be the gateway to Scituate Harbor. It will be part of the fabric of our community for generations. It will be a place where everyone in the community will feel welcome. So we're really excited. There's a lot of hard work that's been done. There's a lot more work towards forward. And tonight, we'd like to just talk a little bit about public outreach. Christine Wilson, who's the team leader for our lead consultant, Copley Wolff, will talk about the current design elements and permitting. And then we'd like to talk about an opportunity for enhancement of parking in the vicinity of the park. So first slide is up. Thank you, Christine. Little background. 2010, the town meeting, the town approved purchasing property with MBTA mitigation funds. In 2011, there was a survey of town departments and commissions that concluded that the best use of the property was for park and recreation, passive recreation. It was an online survey, more than 1,000 people participated. And again, the consensus was best use of the open space recreation. 2012 was a phase 1 report developed. It's a really good report. It's on our SHARC website. The basic recommendation was demolish the existing building and develop a waterfront park. Then between 2012 and 2021 was a hiatus. We didn't forget the park, but the town was certainly busy with other major projects, public safety, building, library, senior center. So we got back at it in 2021, created our commission, did another online survey, more than 1,000 people participated. A key strategic move in 2022 was to hire the Copley Wolff design group. We had 8 responses to our proposal. They were all excellent. And Copley Wolff seemed particularly suited and excited about our project and brought a lot of experience in similar projects. So we're thrilled to have Christine and the Copley Wolff team. Did another survey in 2023, again, really good response. And then in that survey, we focused on involving the community and basically in the design of the park. What features do you want? How do you want to use the park? And that, to a large extent, informed the design going forward. We had in-person meetings in 2023, daytime and an evening, very good attendance. We've met with many groups in town. I'm personally in the mid-90s meetings on this project. So we've tried to, we've talked to the neighbors, the merchants in the area. We talked to the marina that's adjacent to the park. So we've listened, we've tried our best to address concerns in the design and going forward. 2023 at town meeting, community preservation allocated $300,000 for our next phases of design, permitting, environmental review. And that was on top of Metropolitan Area Planning Commission grant award of $100,000. And then in 2023, again at town meeting, we got approval of articles to spend that money. If you recall from that article at town meeting, with overwhelming support, concepts and the design. So we're really happy with that. Then a huge milestone was in 2024, Mass Environmental Protection issued an environmental certificate, basically indicating or stating that we've complied with all the environmental requirements as far as the state is concerned. So with that background, let's turn over to Christine Wilson. Give us the schedule and design and where permitting process and where we're headed from here. Christine?
Great, thanks, Paul. So this is the schedule in front of us here. Copley, Wolff, and our whole design engineering permitting team has started working with the commission almost 2 years ago. Paul just kind of went through what we kind of did in 2023. Since Paul and Corey presented the select board last October, we've really been in the throes of moving the project through the environmental permitting process and advancing the design and the engineering. So I just want to kind of bring your attention. There's a couple line items on the left. The MEPA initial submission, that was the 30% design last November. And from that, we had some meetings with the regulatory agencies, and what was asked of this project was that we put forth more information. They asked for 60% design, which honestly our design engineering team hadn't experienced before, but we were contracted to move this project forward, but to 60% design and beyond. So we just kind of gathered together, and last winter we worked with, it was the waterfront engineering team with the architect and their structural engineer and the civil, and my team, the landscape architects, working together with input from the GZA's environmental permitting specialists to push the design along and respond to comments from the various agencies. And we did that 60% submission in early March, and then there was a follow-up submission with supplemental information in April. And as Paul mentioned, very exciting to get that secretary's certificate in May. And then this summer, we've been working with Corey. Corey's done the kind of the paperwork for the NOI. We're looking at going to Conservation Commission next month, and kind of also the Chapter 91 application and Army Corps as well. And then we'll be going to Planning Board, I think, this fall. So that's where we're at with permitting. And again, the design has been advancing along the way. And I just kind of want to take a couple minutes to walk the group through some of those changes. So this was the programming diagram from last fall. And if we move to the next slide, it's really the comfort station that was removed from the project. That was some pushback from regulatory agencies on that fixed structure in the VE zone on the site. In conversations with Corey and the building commissioner, we've gone in the direction of not having a fixed structure, not having the comfort station or restrooms be a fixed structure. Instead, it will be a portable restroom trailer, still working through the specifics, but it located on that kind of left portion of the site and in the parking lot. And we're still working through those details. But that was really kind of the biggest move programmatically, a little shifting around of the other programs, but the kind of the framework of the site is still the same. It's just a lot of the details have been advanced. So speaking of which, if we move to the next slide here, I already mentioned that portable trailer, an image of an example up in the left there. A lot of the reworking of the site has been the shoreline, the boardwalk, the earthwork, the molded kind of the topography, working kind of the whole team working together, as well as taking in the input from the regulatory agencies. So I'm actually going to talk through some of those changes using sections on the next few pages, but I just want to draw your attention. If we could just go back one slide. There's the thick black line. It says A and then A hyphen. That's through from like the crosswalk that connects from to Scituate Tavern. I'll go through the lawn and the shade structure. That's the first section I'm going to talk about. And then the other one will be the next one will be the one through what we call the promenade, closer over to the parking lot. That's the B section there. So if we go to the next slide, here are those sections. So that top one, which is through the shade structure, again, we worked with the waterfront engineer, the structural engineer for the architect to really figure out that the depth of the boardwalk, the number of pilings, the exact location, and the design previously had a retaining wall at the back of the boardwalk. The kind of landscape came up to connect to the back of the boardwalk, and that has been removed in favor of letting the water just flow below the boardwalk and around the site. So not having we've removed walls and boulders, any kind of fixed seat walls, just from a hydraulic perspective. So as shown in the kind of the lower section, the points where we connect to the boardwalk from kind of the site out to the boardwalk, those are more bridge walkways opposed to the grade again coming out and meeting the boardwalk. So I would kind of define this as a much lighter kind of lightly touched on the site, I guess, this boardwalk, though, of course, it's been engineered. The design of it has been advanced and engineered, so it is going to withstand storms now and into the future. So I'm going to continue on to the next slide here. This is a section over on the side of the site. The kind of key map on the top right shows that it's on the side of the private marina. And we've always planned for a rain garden between the walkway that connects up to the boardwalk on the water and the adjacent property. But that we had the grade coming up a little more quickly and the kind of lawn connecting toward that walk. So it was on grade, and now the boardwalk, I guess fingers I tend to call it, have come out on the site. Again, more of a light touch on the site, these some of these walkways, and so the water kind of flows below. In terms of the planting design has advanced native coastal plants, and these are low maintenance plants. Low maintenance is really important to this project. So that is big consideration in all aspects. And further conversations will be taking place with the town and the commission to create as low maintenance a park as possible. We move on to the next slide. So these are diagrams that came out again from the supplemental information provided for the MIPA process to those agencies. We modeled out the existing conditions at the top there, the proposed conditions below. I'll just note that those renderings down below, like they don't show the site furnishings, the boardwalk railings, the planting is really just showing the kind of framework of the park and really the typography, so we can understand how water will move in or around the site. This is looking way out into the future in terms of, you see 2070 mean high water line way on the future. But this was a request from the agencies to model this out. Moving forward. We have a couple renderings here, just again showing the design of the park, the character of it, these programmatic spaces. This is looking down the promenade out to the boardwalk, that view out to the Scituate Lighthouse, and the lawn on the left, the parking lot just out of view to the right. And then the next view is on the other side. This is if you were walking from the marina or the state boat ramp, or or the lighthouse. So you're walking from the north to the site, you come across this small landscape bridge into this site, and there's more of the shade structure that you can see on this end of the boardwalk. And the large open lawn that again was big request from the community is there prominently in this view. And then finally, I just want to mention parking. Right now, the parking lot still has the 13 spaces we did a year ago. So it's just a little bit of an expansion of the parking lot to accommodate that portable restroom trailer. And we also still have the 7 parallel spots on Jericho Road. This is not pushing out into the street as it is today. It's actually shifting the sidewalk in a little bit, and so we'll have a little bit of a wider sidewalk, and then the planting curb extensions shown right here. Those are where the light poles are right now, the overhead light poles. So again, we're not pushing out into Jericho Road to create those. Then I also want to mention, this was brought up, I think, last year as well, the parallel spots over by the state boat ramps. So where it says Jericho Boat Launch down in the lower right, the town has been looking at this project with 12 additional spaces right here as well. So the same concept as what we see on the park side with those parallel spots.
Yeah, so regarding let me just interject for a second, Christine.
Yeah.
So regarding the insert, we see the parallel parking near the state boat ramp parking area. We request that the town consider that as a town project. It would really enhance parking in the area. It would then provide 32 spaces immediately adjacent to the Pier 44 park, which I think would go a long way to addressing some of the community comments we got about